So today I'll be doing my highlighting, contouring and bronzing routine. I've already done my foundation just so we can jump right through it. So let's get started. This is my first time filming with my new lights. If you guys like it, please let me know because I'm liking it so far. So yeah, for highlighting I usually take the Maybelline Fit Me concealer just because it is quite a high coverage for a drugstore concealer, or usually I would use the LA Pro. This obviously isn't my shade, it's like 3 shades darker than my skin color, so that's why I haven't used it, but I was given this, so that's why. But this is great for as a concealer. It's such high coverage. It's high coverage, very high coverage. Another good one, or I'd use the Maybelline Age Rewind Eraser. This is actually empty. I've got to repurchase one, but I just haven't had the chance. Anyway, so we're going to start with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I'm just going to put it under my eyes, down the center of my nose, on my forehead and on my chin. So I usually start with my eyes. I'll go down and I'll start on the corner of my eye. I'll usually bring it right across to my temple, and then I'd bring it down right to the bottom of my nose, and I'd kind of make a triangle shape. So I won't bring the whole bottom line right to the temple just because I don't want that to be like a massive white line. I just want it to really blend out. So the small triangle that you have underneath your eye, you do want to just bring it and stop it right at the end of your eye. So I usually bring the bottom of my concealer right to the end of my eyebrow. I wouldn't go any further than that, or you can go right to the end of your eye, whichever suits you. But I really like a highlight effect, so I go to the eyebrow. And like I said, I really like highlights, so I put a lot of concealer on. You don't usually need to do this, like have this much, but I really like full coverage highlight. You see what I mean? Like, this concealer has such a high coverage. It's so great, like, and it's so affordable. I think I bought this for $14, so it is like amazing, like, price. I go through these like so much. This is probably the second one I've had in like a month. Usually, like, it's really hard to explain. I'll do a bigger one on my forehead so you know. I usually do like, I don't know how you would explain it, but I just do that on my forehead and on my chin, just a smaller version on my chin obviously, right down the center of my nose, right up. And then I just take a damp beauty blender and just blend it out. I love using a beauty blender when to blend out concealers or anything like that. I love it with my my foundation as well, but for concealer it's so great because it does blend out so good and so evenly, and it doesn't make it look cakey. So I prefer using a beauty blender. If I didn't have a beauty blender, I would use my finger. I don't necessarily use brushes when I do concealer, just because I feel like you waste a lot of product using a brush. It gets more on the brush than on your skin. Having a damp beauty blender, it really makes it blend out. It doesn't absorb too much product, which is great. Using your finger, for obvious reasons, it's not going anywhere, it's staying on your finger, and it doesn't absorb much of the product also. So, and I think you get, for a thick product, if you're using a thick concealer, using your finger would probably be the best thing because of the heat from your finger is making that thin out and easier to blend. I know this looks really crazy, like it looks insane, I know. Depending on my eyeshadow that I'm using, I usually do my concealer on my eyelids also, just to get rid of any dark circles, veins, etc. I don't usually take it up to my temple. I usually work that little bit in and I leave it. I just go in and go like that. I don't usually work it out towards my temple. Like I said before, you don't want that thick concealer all the way through. You want it to blend out, just because it doesn't look flawless, or as flawless as you could get it. And just using the excess that's on my beauty blender, just touching up the forehead, the center of the nose and the chin, just to blend that and make it have more coverage, just because the eyes are just so intense. You want to even it out a little bit. Okay, now going in for powders to set my concealer. I did usually use the AC On Tour contouring and highlighting palette from Australis. This was amazing. This was so good. It had the banana shade in it, which I absolutely loved. It is gone, as you can see. I used all of it. I don't really want to repurchase this, just because I didn't want to spend $11 more on one shade or one pan. So I thought it was a waste of money, so I didn't go repurchasing it. I have actually bought the banana powder, so that should be coming soon, and when that comes, I will go and use that, because I really do prefer using banana shades than whites and just lighter skin shades. But in saying that, sometimes if I do really want like an intense one, I will mix white with the yellow shade. Lately I have been using the e.l.f. high definition powder. Okay, so I'm just going to start with my eyes, and I'm just going to put a fair bit on, and I just dab really gently. I just take some of this powder as well, and I just set my eyelid, because we did put concealer on there, and it's going to crease. And setting your eyes before you put eyeshadow on actually makes it help blend that eyeshadow out when you're using eyeshadow. Your eyeshadow, it will look muddy, it won't go on even, it will go like, not clumpy, but like just patchy. It won't go on as smooth and even as you would like. But recently I looked in my drawers, and I had the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, I think it is. Yeah, pressed powder in Classic Ivory in 120. I bought this obviously for a pressed powder, but because I fake tan, this is way too light for me as a normal pressed powder. So I've actually been using it as a highlight powder, and it's been working amazingly. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that just everywhere where we put that high definition powder and the concealer. I literally look like a panda right now. What? Okay, so that is my highlighting routine. It's really basic. It's nothing too crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go in and do my bronzing and contouring. I have seen a lot of people do their contouring before their bronzing. I like to do my bronzing before my contouring. I don't know, it's just the way I do it. For the bronzer, I'm just going to take my Chanel bronzer. I love this bronzer. It honestly is so great for just a flawless bronze look. It's a mousse, which makes it so natural. Anything mousse really makes it look so natural to your skin. Obviously, it's not going to be like, oh my god, she's not wearing makeup, but it's just going to look really even. It's not going to look muddy. Obviously, you can make it look muddy if you cake it up, but it's really hard to do that. This is amazing. Like, this will last you a bloody lifetime. Like, it's so flop and amazing. Like, I love it. I just can't even deal. Calm. Moving on. I'm just gonna dab it. I'm not gonna circle, I'm just gonna dab. Dabbing your product, especially a mousse, will get the product in the brush more on just on top of it, and it will just give it more of a natural look when you blend it out. Okay, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna go from the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth. Obviously, you're not going to bronze to the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth, but you're just going to stop about where your eye is. I'm just going to start from the top of my ear and just dab. Dab and drag, just really small motions. Just really working that into the skin. Also, again, this will make it look a lot more natural. Mainly focused here and just gradually blend out. If you're going like that, it's going to be really hard to do that. So you're just going to go on the top of your cheekbone and just really lightly blend that out. like that. You see how it's really not, it's not cakey, it's not muddy, it's really blended out. Me personally, I love a bronze look. Like, honestly, I love it. I always go for a really high, not high, but more than usual. So like more than what a natural, I don't go for a natural bronze, I go a little bit higher than that. We're going to go then to the top of your forehead. And he's going to work from the hairline and do the same thing. Just dab. But work it towards your hairline. That's pretty much done for the bronzing. I'm going to take my Bahama Mama bronzer by the Balm, and I'm just going to, it's darker than that bronzer we just took. So I'm just going to take that on this brush here. So when you want to contour, you're going to dab it and tap off that excess. Again, you're going to do the same thing, but just a little bit lower. So you're going to go from the top of your ear to the edge of your mouth again. But okay, so for people that can see their cheekbones, but you'll see the bottom of your cheekbone. That's where you're going to want to do it, just above it though. And I'll explain that later. Okay, so I'm going to start from up here, which is going to be the darkest point. So what I do is I just make it as dark as I want. And then just blend it out. I'm so sorry for that noise. It's the washing machine, so if it's really loud, I apologize. Okay, so how I blend and make such a flawless bronzing and contouring, I blend amazing. I honestly just make it a little bit darker than I would usually, and I get the brush that you use for bronzing and just bronze up, like work them in together. And like I said to you, I love a high bronze look, so this to you will probably be like, oh girl, that's a lot of bronzer. But for me, this is what I like and this is what I go for. Why you put the contouring above your cheekbone? So because when you went and blended that in, it was moving down a little bit. But if you did start off where it was, it would have just been too low and it would have just beat the purpose of a contour. So a bit of that Bahama Mama on my forehead. I just really work it in there. I take the brush again and just blend it. Blend it out, honey. And then that's how I do my flawless bronze contouring and highlighting look. To finish this off, so I'm just going to take my AC On Tour contour kit by Australis. I'm just going to take this really light colour here. I'm just going to take it on the brush that you use for highlighting. You're going to go and do a line like that right underneath the contour you just did. And you see how that just sharpened it up a little bit? It made that contour pop. It really made it like boom. Oh my god, I nearly forgot one step. So I'm going to take the Bahama Mama powder again and the same brush. I'm just going to go down the center, oh not the center, the sides of my nose. Having it on your nose just makes it all work together. Okay, so there you go. That's how I get my highlighting, contouring and bronzing flawless. So if you guys loved this tutorial, then make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and keep a comment down below of something you want to see. If you want to know how I do my eyebrows, how I do anything. So yeah, just let me know and I will do it for you as soon as I can. So yeah, make sure you tell me if you like these lightings, if it's good, if it should be somewhere else, if it's too intense, so on. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you to it. Love you guys. Mwah. Hope you enjoyed.